Welcome to Happy Hungry Hippie, and welcome to Happy Harvey Hippie too, who's just chilling with me in Hibb's Book Club Corner. Yes, my YouTube channel first started nearly 5 years ago, and it was during COVID where I started doing recipes and actually doing plant-based recipes, but a lot of whole food plant-based. And during these years, I've been covering lots of recipes from some wonderful cookbooks. So first of all, I just want to really cover what whole food plant-based is. It's a very awkward lifestyle and very different to that from vegan, vegetarianism, pescatarian, or even plant-based. Now, the simplest way I can actually put this, the difference between plant-based and whole food plant-based is the fact that you do eliminate sugars, salt, and specifically oils. Now, although I am not strict upon those, whole food plant-based has to adapt to those. So of all these wonderful books I've got here, some of these are automatically eliminated from the actual top 5, which are pretty much these books below here. And there's some absolutely amazing books. You know, there's this fantastic new book which is actually just come out by Tim Spector, Food for Life cookbook. This does have a very different outlook regarding lifestyle around vegan, and it's more about plant-based, and it does actually have a bit of dairy in this. But all I'm saying is do not let this deter you from buying or looking at any of these cookbooks, because you know it's entirely down to you and your lifestyle. And what I tend to do for my YouTube channel is adapt these recipes, as I have done with Ottolenghi, who's probably been my biggest inspiration. Now, he's really been a massive influence within the UK and across Europe with his cuisine, in that he's not really given that sort of vegan approach, but he's basically influenced people to fall in love with vegetables. Pretty much, you know, even Ottolenghi's reference in this book, he's been a massive influence. So yeah, I've done a lot of cookbook reviews. Do check out my playlist for everything that I've reviewed. Hopefully you find that insightful. I'm just going to show you pretty much some of these amazing cookbooks actually which are plant-based. I'm going to do a separate top 5 for plant-based cookbooks, which you'll see in the future. This is a fantastic one. That's a chef based in Cork who's done basically one of the first over the past couple of decades to create a plant-based restaurant. Absolutely amazing. And this shows you how to make showpiece plant-based recipes for like 5-star cuisine. So yeah, so do, you know, this one as well, absolutely amazing. Really is an absolute fantastic chef. But no, he uses oil and salt, but he does adapt by using more healthier sugars and things like that. So Gaz Oakley is absolutely brilliant, really good. Yeah, the list, this is good. How to go plant-based. Again, the use of oil is used in this, and salt as well. Yeah, very big fan of Tom Hunt. Now, he's been around for years. This is more about sustainability, eating for pleasure, people and planet. I will be covering a cookbook review for plant-based in the future, where these will feature within that. So do watch this space for the future. Actually, what is the top 5 whole food plant-based cookbooks? Now, it's a very difficult challenge, this. And I've actually posed this question as a poll in my favourite Facebook group of the Thoughts Over Knives group, which I have a cookbook here, which will be featured within the top 5, of course. Now, within that poll, I actually discovered quite a lot of other cookbooks which are whole food plant-based, which I do not have in this. I will be in future looking at purchasing some of those books and some really fascinating insights, so I do want to thank you for that. I'm going to put the link to that Facebook group in the comments below. Feel free to join the group. It's an absolutely wonderful group. We've got about 60,000 people in that, and over the past 10 years we've been sharing some amazing whole food plant-based recipes from Joanna Atkinson, who's the actual founder of that group. I'm actually part of the admin of that group. There's 3 of us with Denise McGold's as well, so really enjoyed the contributing and participating in that group over the years. So join that poll. We did a top 5, and I'm going to actually publish what my personal top 5 is, because I do not have a lot of those books, but the insight and the comments of that was absolutely amazing. Really do appreciate everyone's feedback. But now for the top 5 whole food plant-based cookbooks as from 2025. the newest book that has come out is actually the PlantYou from Carleigh Bodrug. Now that's the scrappy one. That's come out within the past 6 months, and I have done a review for that, so do check that out. So what is going to be the top 5? Number 5 is the one and only Forks Over Knives Cookbook. Now this has been out for quite some time now, and this is the actual book which inspired the creation of the Facebook group by Joanna Atkinson. And it's actually, there's a little bit of a story behind that which I want to share with you. Joanna actually created the Facebook group specifically that this book was not really too easy to use. Now although it's got plenty of recipes, so many, but the problem is that there is no illustrations or photos, and the instructions are grouped together all within one sort of paragraph. Now that is very difficult, and it was actually because of that Joanna set up our Facebook group to try and share and also publish photos and even videos like myself to basically sort of break down and make some of these recipes simpler. And it's for that exact reason why I'm going to vote this number 5. It features within the top 5 because it's been so influential, and it was actually the documentary that was out about 15 years ago when I was at university studying food science and nutrition that I was absolutely obsessed with this documentary and anything published around this. But if you are lucky enough to be in America, then you can actually get the magazines, and the magazines have some amazing recipes in, and actually have visuals and lots of inspiration. I was very lucky. Denise McGold's actually sent me an amazing magazine all the way from the US, which was very kind of her. I've actually covered a recipe, so do check that out where I looked at that magazine. But yes, this features top 5. It has an absolute place, and if you've not seen the documentary, be sure to watch that, because that has pretty much influenced a lot of other documentaries that has come out since, including Game Changers, What the Health, lots of really, really good documentaries, which basically does go into the whole food plant-based. So, number 4 is the one and only PlantYou by Carleigh Bodrug, aka PlantYou. Now, Carleigh has actually been a massive social media following and has actually really been recognised within the whole food plant-based committees and people who are involved. This book came out 3 years ago in 2022 and was actually an amazing contribution. Now, I've actually spoke to Carleigh. She's actually part of our group on Facebook from her very beginning, and she's actually recognised us, and it's really kind of her to reach out to us. But this was really good when it first came out, and what was so good about this was the fact that it has lots of amazing illustrations. The simplicity of that is incredible, and I do like this concept here where it shows you what the ingredients are. And the breakdown is also really easy to understand as well. Probably the little bit of the downside is it doesn't have the dual metrics, and this is a problem. A lot of these books for people who are in the UK, it doesn't have the grams and the mils, it's all in cups. And it's something I've also learned as well, that I'm starting to, when I cover recipes on my YouTube channel, to start putting both metrics in, so it's more of a universal book. But yeah, in terms of the ingredients and actually giving a photo of what the dish looks like, makes a massive difference. So this book is really good in terms of innovation. It's almost like a modern look on things and how to sort of make people sort of adapt to whole food plant-based, and also the adaptation of doing different things. I think some of this has already been published, things like portobello mushroom steaks, and in terms of worldwide cuisine, I thought this was quite basic just in some of the aspects of this, and it's quite sort of more American and Tex-Mex kind of influenced, although there's sort of a little bit of a Middle Eastern and sort of pasta and things like that. Even Vietnamese, you know, the rainbow summer rolls, it's very adaptive, and I really did like this. So yes, this was a great book. So number 3 is the one and only Dr. Michael Greger's How Not to Die cookbook. Now, I have actually covered a review of all of these, so do check out my playlist if you want to have a look at it. This book actually came out in about 2017, so that's 8 years ago, and it's off the back of the book How Not to Die. Now, to be honest with you, it's had a lot of criticism in the title of the book. It's not really an easy read for people who have terminal cancer or is going through cancer. I tried to give my dad the book to read when he had prostate cancer, and he really did not want to read it because of the title, and that had a very big impact on certain people who didn't really want to face with the situation they were in. And it was an absolutely remarkable book. It's a book on how to reverse cancer through food, and it's backed up with a lot of studies. But yeah, this book was absolutely revelationary because it actually really did sort of introduce really good recipes. And what I do really like about this is I actually covered this, I've done a video of this one, but what I really do like about this book is it's really well made. It's lasted the years. The pages are really nice and glossy. You've got a one page of the actual recipe, and also the metrics are both in dual for kilograms and also cups, so it's adaptable universally as well. But what is so remarkable about this, the mixture of different cuisines is absolutely fantastic. I've really been inspired by this and covered a lot of recipes. What I like at the end is it gives you set meals and week plans, kitchen techniques and things how to cook without oil. And also the references at the end are absolutely remarkable, all backed up with studies. But then at the actual front, you've got a very good insight, which is almost, you know, a very good introduction. You can actually get this app. It's the Daily Dozen. It's fantastic. Shows you kind of the things to have. But then also at the beginning, it shows you some things to make in advance, like even making your own dates. So I've actually covered a video on that. Really good. How to replace sugar, you know, almond milk, making, you know, just some absolute basic things which actually support you with making some of these recipes. The umami sauce, covered that. It's amazing. Please check the video out for that. Doing little blends which actually go into this, doing different broths, roasted garlic dressings, and this was really sort of ahead of its time, really, and I still use it to this day. It's absolutely fantastic. So yes, that has to feature within the top 3, and that is the How Not to Die cookbook. So number 2 is the latest book that I purchased, which is whole food plant-based, is Carleigh Bodrug's PlantYou Scrappy Cooking. Now this is an absolutely amazing book. It came out last year, and what makes this really good is it's an amazing step up from her last book in terms of innovation, but also the fact it's got lots of sustainability about it and how not to waste food. And that's something I really do love and really do try and avoid myself. But also the book has got lots of different amazing recipes in there which are really a bit more innovative, you know, save the seed, and lots of things that she's actually covered on her Instagram page as well, you know, Greek lemon smashed potatoes. The innovation and also the diversity of the different cuisines is a much better outlook from her first book, and she's really seen, you know, ways of improving. But the only questionable thing is there's things in here like olive oil which are not whole food plant-based, so it doesn't really say that on the cover. On the first one, it was specifically oil-free. Probably like myself, I've started to adapt. I've started using extra virgin olive oil, but it's very rare that she actually uses it, so barely any recipes have that in. But yes, in general, it's absolutely amazing. Also, what's really good about this as well, she starts delving into the fermented world, which she didn't in the first book. It's become a big science over the past 10 years, becoming very much more of a trend. Even just some simple recipes, you know, like lemon peel pesto, saving the lemon peel and things like that. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this, you know, looking more sort of Indian sort of cuisine as well. And then there's a lot of chapters at the end about dressings, sauces and vinaigrettes and whipped sort of feta alternatives. But then she also does some things which basically has been influenced from the Dr. Gregor cookbook, which is the nutty palm and the glaze and things like that. Yes, no doubt she's also been influenced by him. Yeah, tapachi, which is what I discussed before. I've actually done a video of that myself, which you can check out. Tangy tapachi, you can do that with actually banana skin as well, which is fantastic. Preserved lemons, absolutely amazing. So yes, it is a very good book. So well done, Carleigh, for this, and thanks for your contribution to the whole food plant-based community and society that we have. So yes, it's incredible. So well done, very good book, well worth getting. So what is going to be number 1 is Dr. Gregor's How Not to Diet Cookbook. This came out 5 years ago in 2020 and was a considerable improvement from the first book. Also, the title in itself is based on an absolutely fantastic book, which is, yeah, of course, How Not to Diet. Do read it. It's very insightful, very interesting, and the reason being is because it's just so diverse. It's introduced me to foods that I would have never sort of thought of. You know, Ethiopian spice Burberry, which is, I've actually covered a video on how to do that. It does the same sort of principles as the last book he did, but takes it to a whole new level. And again, but is backed by the science and lots of tremendous insights. So yes, I mean, some of these are really super healthy recipes. Also, what I do like about this as well, it's got little tips and little insights of things, but it's absolutely incredible. Look at the illustrations, it's absolutely fantastic, and it looks at, you know, all different kinds of tricks to do, all your different kinds of soups, because some of these soups are not very easy, but you know, like the borscht with cabbage and dill. Yes, it's a very sort of Eastern European recipe, but I just love the diversity of it. And hot and sour soup, so that's like, you know, Chinese, Southeast Asian, free bean and turmeric lentils. I've covered that recipe. Do check it out as a mate. That's absolutely fantastic. Cheesy broccoli soup shows you how to use an alternative cheese using cashews. And salads, ras el hanout, which is kind of like how to make your own spice at home. So much better. But yeah, you know, it covers so much, and have some fantastic pasta recipes. And then we go into the root vegetable and then mainly veg, you know, how to do sort of one pot wonders. Ethiopian collard greens and beans, as I was speaking about, making Burberry, nigella seed, rubbed balsamic roasted cauliflower. You know, these are actually super healthy recipes. It just makes it, you know, much more interesting. So yeah, it's really, really good, and again, a book that I timelessly use. Also introduced me to tempeh, which I'd never really heard of before, which is, I've covered that recipe, the Szechuan tempeh and broccoli. Do check out that video, absolutely amazing. And then also at the end, it actually covers some of the breakfasts, which again is not always easy, and it covers some, you know, healthy desserts at the end, which is also quite challenging as well. It looks at different intakes of fruit, and then at the end, rather than at the beginning, it shows you some of the umami sort of sauces. Burberry spice blends, as I've discussed, supercharged blends, Dr. Gregor's special spice blends, and yeah, even how to make your own sort of pesto, which I've covered. So yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. So that has got to be my number one. Also for the amazing work that Dr. Gregor and his team have done, which I'm very proud to be part of. I'm not sponsored by them, and I'm very proud of the work that he's done over the years, and I think he's been a very, very big influence, you know. So do check out his website. It's almost like the Wikipedia version of nutrition. It's called nutritionfacts.org. I'll put the link below. Yeah, some people would argue that it's kind of like an extreme sort of intake, but do check out my video which covers like oils, and because there's a lot of misconceptions around oils. It is something that I do use, but in an absolute moderation. I really do try and not use it at all, along with sugar as well, the two key things. But I do argue the side with salt a little bit. I'm not an extreme person who follows whole food plant-based, but yes, these books are very, very influential and show you how to sort of do those sort of recipes. So Harvey is fast asleep, as you can see here. So yes, please do let us know what your favourite whole food plant-based cookbooks are. Please do put your comments below. Be really interesting. Please also do subscribe. I have spent 5 years doing this channel now, and I'm very passionate about my content. So there's lots of videos, inspiration, cookbook reviews, recipes, where I've really sort of dissected how to make these recipes in a really simple way. So I hope you find that influential and easy for you, because I understand it's really not easy. Also check out my playlist for cookbook reviews, which you can find the reviews of these cookbooks, and also turn on your notifications, bing, every fortnight on Tuesdays at 4:30. So take care everyone, enjoy.